My name's Lloyd Bowen, and I'm one of the candidates in the upcoming local election to Swell Borough Council in May of this year. So this is for the Teynham and Lynsted ward for the May elections, and I am one of the Conservative Party candidates for the three elections. I've been serving as your councillor for the last 12 plus years, and I find it a huge honour to be your representative at Swell Borough Council. And I really would like to continue carrying out that role for you, the residents of the Teynham and Lynsted ward. My phrase for this year is that I want to continue protecting our community and green spaces. Over the last 4 years, the administration at Swell Borough Council has been run by a coalition of a number of parties. Each year, costs have increased that have affected you, the residents, in your pockets. Personally, I think you are the better judge of where your money should be spent. I do not think it is right for a council to impose needless increases at times of council tax and car parking charges that affects you at a time of high costs and living. And I would rather have the money in your pocket than that's in the council pocket. You should be able to decide what to do with that. So I've campaigned for many years that the increases in certainly the car parking fees are unfair on you, the residents of the borough. A bit about me. I've been living in the village for 20 years, so I've been your councillor for the last 12. I love being your councillor. I love the village and the ward in which I live. I'm married and I have a 10-year-old daughter. I live on Station Road within Teynham, and I'm actively involved in the community. Fortunately, my role as a councillor has got me involved in other events around the community. These are a few on the screen. The community kitchen in Lynsted. I've been involved with various litter picks over the years, and last year I was pleased, along with my colleague Mike White, to return to Teynham after a gap of many years, the Santa sleigh at Christmas to help raise funds for charity. I'm also the chairman of Teynham Village Hall. As you can see in that picture, I run the Wine and Wisdom and several quizzes over the course of the year, and I just like to have the community spirit. The last 4 years have been very, very difficult, with particularly the pandemic for you, the residents. And as part of that, during the lockdown process, times were tight, it was very difficult for a lot of people. I set up a weekly quiz, an online quiz, that was just open invitation for people to join. And that gave people, for a short period each week, just a little outlet to come and share their experiences of the week, have a bit of a laugh, and just see some people which they wouldn't normally have got to speak to. So if I'm re-elected to Swell Borough Council as your representative in May, I have 3 areas which I will campaign for. I will put the interest of residents and the environment first. Above party politics, you, the residents, are the most important thing. I want to make sure that we keep the village as best we can. I want to make sure that we have an environment that is kept as green as we can. It is of no benefit to the village to have an air quality area where the air quality is getting worse rather than better. And this will only be exacerbated by the increasing number of houses. Now, everybody, I think, realises we do need more houses. It is where they are built that is the problem. Teynham has had its fair share over the years, and under the local administration, the coalition, they were planning as part of their local plan over another 1,000 houses within the ward. I do not think that is fair. I do not think that is appropriate, and I will campaign against that for as long as I'm your councillor, and even if I'm not re-elected as your councillor. So people and the environment first. I will continue to lobby for the return of the GP surgery to Teynham. It is ridiculous that a village and a ward of this size has no longer any GP provision for residents, and you have been forced to go to the Memorial Hospital or further afield to get GP patient care. I want to see a GP surgery back in Teynham sooner rather than later. And as I mentioned a moment ago about the housing, I will continue to oppose excessive development on greenfield sites. And when new housing is needed, and it is needed, we will fight for those homes to be affordable and built in the right place that adds value to the village, not to the pocket of developers. And it's got to be of a benefit and bring something to the area and the village and you, the existing residents, and the infrastructure and the services which will be provided. I want to be your champion at Swale House for another 4 years to make sure and to do our very best to make sure that Teynham does not become the housing dumping ground of Swale. Just to remind before I go that this year, the elections, you will need to bring a form of voter ID if you go to the polling station. The list of ID is on the screen at the moment. You don't need a photo ID if you apply for a postal vote. So thank you very much for listening. As I say, my name is Lloyd Bowen. I am one of the candidates for the Swale Borough Council elections on the 4th of May 2023, and I want to carry on as it's been an honour and a privilege being your councillor, and I want to make sure that I continue to protect our community and local green spaces. Thank you for your time.